Hello, I'm Adam Korn from the United States of America. My call sign is Barbar. I had been following the war ever since the full-scale invasion, and I'd been paying attention to foreign volunteers for a few years, and after a while I decided I would come and try and help out. I joined in December of 2025. I started out in Ternopil and then moved to a place outside of Kharkiv, and now I serve in Donetsk. Yes, I worked as a welder for a couple years and as a handyman. I liked working with tools and fixing things. I didn't study for it. It was just something I learned as I worked. Yes, I serve in the Flash Battalion inside the 28th Brigade, and I chose to serve here because I wanted to work with unmanned systems, and I believe this unit does a good job of taking care of their people and treating us like humans. I command the vampires in all heavy bombers in my unit.
We are sitting waiting on the drone to be connected so that we can conduct our flights.
I command the teams. I'll train all of the different people on their roles. I will service vampires, fix them, sometimes build them from the ground up, so that's fun. Yes, I spent a few weeks learning infantry training, tactical medicine, and shooting, drills, movement, stuff like that. And then a few additional weeks I spent preparing my knowledge of the drone, learning how to fly it, maintain it. I think it's very important to learn a lot about medicine and about technical skills with maintaining and repairing the drone. These are especially important. I came here because I don't believe that the conflict happening is just. I take issue with not only the reasoning for the war, but the way the war has been conducted and the actions of the Russian armed forces. Some of it's quite terrible, and I've seen firsthand how terrible it really can be. The conduct is not becoming of a proper military. Ukraine will win this war off the back of perseverance. There's been a great deal of technological innovation, particularly on the side of Ukraine. And in spite of lesser numbers, the quality of units does seem to be much higher. And what is able to be accomplished with a smaller group of people is significantly greater than it once has been. So this makes it very difficult, the environment for Russia to aggress. Some things that I find in common are just day-to-day trying to get by, the great effort that it takes just to move forward in the world, particularly when you look at those less fortunate, those in a lower socioeconomic status. There are some surprising similarities that I see from here to there. The great deal of kindness that I receive. Obviously, there are outliers here or there, but as a whole, the Ukrainian people are honest, hardworking, and incredibly kind. I was surprised with how well I've been treated, but everywhere I go, it's almost like family. I've multiple times been moving throughout the world, and civilians will be able to see that I am part of the military based on what I'm wearing, where I am, things like this. And I've needed help with this or that, and people will come up, they'll shake your hand, they'll hug you. Sometimes the mothers or grandmothers or wives of people who have been serving, people who've died, they will show great appreciation. They'll do everything they can to help you and show you great kindness. I have friends from England, from Australia. I have a friend from Zimbabwe, Honduras. One of my best soldiers is from Honduras. Very good guy. There are quite a few from here and there in Europe, Austria, Finland, Estonia. I've met some very good Estonian people. It's not too hard. We find connection both in the reason for being here and just the environment. You know, trying to live through this sort of drives people together. You have to. You have to learn to live with people and adapt with the people around you. Sometimes it's difficult, but most of the time it tends to pull people together. I would say to focus a great deal on physical and mental health, both equally. An understanding of tools is not necessary. You could learn, but is a great help if you have that knowledge beforehand. And a knowledge of medicine, even if it's basic knowledge, makes a huge difference. You never know when it'll save your life or save the life of someone who you care deeply about. I remember we had first met each other, not in person, but she was a duty officer while I was on position. It was her first night, first shift there, and we were doing a delivery to people on the front line in Konstantinivka. So it's not necessarily a memorable mission, but it was memorable, it being the first time that I interacted with her. And I remember us accomplishing that. So that was special to me. We continued to talk to each other after that, and that's when we started to get to know each other. Right now we are married. This is my best story from service. Glory to Ukraine.